Hey everyone, what's going on and welcome back to Sheffield United. Now, this is a message for those people who are watching this as part of the playlist later on and will be expecting Liverpool Champions League quarter-final action right here, right now. That hasn't happened. I recorded that episode and the footage, well, it's not good, basically. The footage isn't great. I just couldn't use it visually from a technical standpoint, not from a content standpoint. Although, silver lining-wise, content-wise, we did lose both legs 2-1. Yeah, and considering the first leg was at home, it was a mountain to climb with the second leg anyway, and it was all a bit anticlimactic as an episode as things go. But Neymar scored in the first one, Fofana scored late in the second one. They scored 2 goals in both legs. It wasn't good. They scored 2 goals from corners, the exact same corner, 3 minutes apart, but 2 different defenders, Fabinho and Gomez, dealing with the first leg and the second leg. I think they scored first, and that basically ruined everything. So we're out of that. Still got the Champions League to fight for another time. It was the first year in the Champions League. I wasn't expecting to win it. I wasn't expecting to get to the quarterfinals considering the group stage we had. But it is what it is, and I apologise for that. However, the games around that haven't been too bad. 4-1 against Brighton, 2-0 against West Ham, a 0-0 ball draw at Wolves. I do need to show you a goal from the Brighton game though, and I believe it is the first Jota goal, which involves the weirdest 1-2 you will ever see. The 1-2 is between Jota and Kyle Walker. Now, yes, they are playing in their normal positions. Yeah, that's the 1-2. Jota plays it to Kyle Walker on the opposite side of the pitch, who just gives it back to him. Somehow, that happened without Brighton getting in the way of either of the passes. The Brozovic goal, by the way, absolute banger too. But I need to move on, because we've got Leeds and Tottenham today. 2 big games. Leeds, of course, rivals. I'm not going to do a season in the Premier League whilst Leeds are still here without playing them at least once. Tottenham next, and then Fulham, West Brom and Arsenal. Now, West Brom we do need to update you on because, obviously, as part of the last episode, you don't know how they're getting on. They have slipped off. They are now in 6th. They're on the same number of points as Tottenham, but Man United games in hand is the problem for West Brom right now. They have 3 games in hand on West Brom. They actually appeared in the title run-in page, which I might still have close enough to show you. This is the run-in, essentially. Now, what I didn't realise about Arsenal's run-in is who they played. The game in hand they've got is actually one of the Manchester United 3. And then they've got Liverpool, Chelsea and Manchester City before us on the final day. That is a run-in. And all of a sudden, it makes me a little bit complacent. And I don't want to feel that way. I don't want to rest on my laurels because they've got massive games and they need to get points out of them. They've got a better goal difference. If we lose and they win if they win that game in hand and match us for the rest of the season, they win the title. Simple as that. So we need them to drop points in any of those 6 games. Or at least more points than we drop. And especially, of course, we play them on the last day. So it'd be nice if we were already 4 points clear of them then. West Brom, now 6th. Tottenham, 7th. Fulham, 13th. They're doing all right. But Leeds in 17th. Which, of course, isn't a good thing. Because you remember at the end of last season, we played 2 teams who were in 17th back-to-back and drew them both. They might have been 18th. But anyway, they were fighting for survival is the point. They want us to go very attacking, which I will never ever do because that doesn't work. Go route 1. No, thank you. Go route 1 with players like Neymar in the side. What? Well, then there was a bit of rotation against Wolves. So, not massively. We definitely should have still won it. But there was a bit of rotation there. Oh, by the way, I have put faces on for Meza and Radovanovic. Radovanovic has got a face. As has Martin Zarip, who, for some reason, didn't get it straight away, but now has one. I don't know if I mentioned Martin Zarip, but he's good. He came in January, turned 18 and came in. So that's him. He's an attacking midfielder. We don't really need any more. Doesn't have a work permit. Will go out on loan at some point, probably. Palacios is actually better than James Maddison now. I'll be honest, didn't see that one coming. I think it's mostly down to the physicals, which for some reason James Maddison doesn't have. Like, I get strength, really. Jumping reach, maybe, I don't know. He's not massively tall, but at the same time, probably quite athletic. 12 acceleration and 12 pace. Maddison isn't slow. I'm fairly certain Maddison should be faster than that. And definitely, following his post-match press conferences, should have better mentals. He knows the game of football very, very well, evidently. Decisions probably should be higher. Things like that. Teamwork, work rate definitely should be higher. I just had a quick word with Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who still has 14 goals for the year, but obviously it's been nowhere near the year that it was last time around. But Xhaka in goal, Meza on the left, who has a lovely working relationship with Neymar now, apparently. Badiashile, Fofana, Walker. Brozovic and Gomez are lining up in the centre of the field because Burge and Brozovic don't like each other anymore for some reason. Neymar, Palacios, Edwards. I know that's not what the lines mean, but Edwards on the right, Calvert-Lewin up front. Of course, Jota could go on that right-hand side, but I'm going to give Marcus Edwards the game time, and also Gallardo, still not back from injury. It was the thing I was checking. Actually, Esposito, are you all right? 45 minutes. You make the bench. Buffano is actually edged ahead in the central defence lists, so that's interesting on that front, in my opinion. It looks like they're playing Calvin Phillips in central defence. They've acquired Chalobah, which might be part of the reason of that. And what a lovely time to get the pundits one in the pre-match team talk. Couldn't think of the word team talk there for a second. They are indeed using Phillips in central defence. They've got two defensive midfielders. We've got technically three defensive midfielders on the pitch, but two in the actual defensive midfielder role. That was a heavy touch by Neymar, but it really worked in his favour. And Dallas clears. Arsenal already beating Norwich, so that's good news there. Neymar, free kick. Meslier, good save. I'll pronounce his name probably 4 different ways in this one match. Meslier is what I hear is the right pronunciation. I probably won't remember it. I'll probably definitely call it Meslier, whatever. What's his first name? Chalobah clears. Gomez gathers. Meza, first time, punts it at Llorente. Rodrigo is through, and Rodrigo isn't slow. Badiashile sort of on his heels, but thankfully Rodrigo wide. Chaka looked like he had that covered though. Interesting, they actually wanted me to start Aaron Ramsdale last match. Don't know if they wanted to do this match. I didn't actually see their suggestions for swaps for this one. Ignore them anyway, mostly. But so it's not really massively thrilling again. Can we? I'm going to encourage rather than demand more right now. Gomez. I think I'm going to start doing that on the shouting front. I'm just going to encourage in the first half, and I get more and more desperate during the second half, for instance. We'll go to more demanding. Well, that was a weird touch. Edwards gets the ball back, though, off McBurney. You'd love to see it. Neymar. From range, Meslier saves. Told you I'd say his name 4 different ways. We're seeing the resulting corner. Don't think the game flickered. Don't think it's going to be any use. Although it was a good header by Badiashile. And Gomez's turn on this side. Straight to Meslier. Come on, Palacios. Pick yourself up. You're apparently better than Maddison now. Calvert-Lewin. Maddison, of course, we're coming back from injury as well. Mitigating his game time a little bit, just getting him back to full sharpness. Part of the reason why I didn't play him anyway. Worst part is, if we'd broken there, Calvin Phillips playing central defence, we would have been in. We'd have been in if we'd broken there. Got in the way, hoofed it up. They wouldn't have had any defenders back, probably. Literally their only shot on target. Well, what a team talk. Apparently, Marcus Edwards was injured in that first half, but he seems okay. He hasn't got an injury button on him. But neither him or Palacios playing particularly well. So Jota and Maddison are lined up, ready to come on in my mind. Obviously, I can't tell them to warm up in the game, but that's what I'm doing mentally. Edwards, Gomez, why do we keep playing heavy back passes? That's why I don't get it. We got away with it there. Palacios has got the ball back, and I'm not quite sure what I've just seen. And I don't think Meslier knew what he'd just seen either, because he didn't react to the shot at all until it had hit the post and gone in. So it comes back off their defender, and yeah, he just doesn't react to it. I don't think he was anticipating a shot at all, seemingly. It's 1-1 out of literally nothing, and now Palacios, of course, has got his rating up. I can't take him off. I mean, I could, but... Alright, so we'll bring Jota on over there for Edwards, who, not great. Now we demand a little more. That didn't work for Gomez, but worked for basically everyone else. And Palacios is now tired to boot, so I think we will Maddison. I was tempted to go 2 up top there for a split second. I was tempted to bring Esposito on and join Calvert-Lewin with him. But instead, I think I'm actually just going to take Calvert-Lewin straight off, Esposito straight on. Once again, anonymous from Calvert-Lewin, anonymous. I didn't notice Calvin Phillips just moved into the midfield, so I think they might have brought on a defender. Not that that really matters too much in terms of the composition where we play against them, but arguably, they just made their team better. That highlight did not end with the Xhaka save, although they've got the ball still, so I'm not feeling super confident, as Walker has just been beaten twice in the same highlight by the same player in the same way, which is concerning, but he's on a 7.1. Gomez really tired. I don't really understand that one because he hasn't really played that much. Neymar really tired. I do understand that one. He has played every game, basically. Well, he didn't play the last one. Well, he didn't start the last one. Obviously, at 0-0, I brought him on. Neymar intercepts, though. Not that tired, clearly. Plays Maddison in, who slide challenges his own pass, and What? I think I have just ceased to function. Just my brain has actually stopped trying to process whatever happens here. That was weird. The fact that Maddison tried to challenge his own pass, and then there was a challenge into the goalkeeper, and somehow it ends up at Esposito's feet. Maddison's passion was clear for all to see. Maddison put it away. Not bad for someone with 12 teamwork. Neymar with a late free kick is hit the post, I think. Phillips hangs it clear. Very end of injury time. I imagine we're just going to see this until he blows the whistle, because that's what happens when there's a highlight this close to the end of the game. Probably shouldn't read into the fact there is a highlight now. Brozovic on the edge of the box. Gomez on the edge of the box. Might have a crack. He's been closed down. Meza might put the ball in. And that's it. He was offside. For some reason, despite being 44 seconds over the allotted 4 minutes now, this game's continuing. It's continuing. Meza deals with that. Game over. Mildly concerned at the very, very end there, but Esposito gets a goal off the bench, and I don't know how, but he does get one. Guard against complacency. Neymar's demoted. Oh, do I need to specifically pick out Neymar here? I am delighted with your performance. That's turned Neymar around. He's no longer unhappy. Whew, the crisis averted. I don't know if I said, by the way, Ganso is struggling to settle into this country as a whole and wants to leave as a result. So the player that I brought in to make Neymar happy wants to leave of his own accord, which I'll take. Because hopefully, I've ticked the box. That's fine. It's moved on. Him leaving hopefully won't have an effect. Lovely turnaround. Don't know how it happened. Don't know how either goal went in. We'll move on. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention. The last match we played alongside Wolves, we were definitely last on match of the day that day. Somehow, in a match between Brighton and Burnley, there were 11 goals. Weirdly, they're 11th and 12th. They're right next to each other in the league. I'm really happy with Palacios because he is coming good now, for certain. He's 20 years old. He's got plenty of time in him, and he's still got potential ability. The 20 determination is really working in his favour, of course. With 20 determination, you're always going to see an improvement. Yeah, looking forward to him. And of course, realistically, his technicals, I can see a few 15s there. They're on the borderline. His physicals, 14s, 15s as well, apart from his strength and jumping reach. But that's all right. He's an attacking midfielder. Jumping reach isn't super necessary. And the mentals are only going to get better as he gets older, of course. So he's going to be a really good player. I have a suspicion, I haven't looked it up, I have a suspicion he's one of those players with a variable potential. Of course, as well, with the lost episode, you won't have heard about our youth intake. That's our situation. I think they actually signed 3 players directly off the intake, but now the trials are about to end. They've told me to sign 1 more purely for numbers, which is, that's a fair assessment. There was one reasonable player, or one person who might become reasonable, like, one of those 2.5, maybe 3.5 players. Which, admittedly, in this squad now is 2.5, maybe 3.5 is quite a good player if he manages to get there. But we'll just have a little. We'll just get another little scout report on Harry late in the season. There's a good chance they don't get European football, Man United. Well, at the very least, Champions League football. Chelsea got past Lazio, by the way, in the Champions League. And now Bayern Munich, which obviously is nonsense because Bayern Munich don't lose to teams in London. So Real Madrid versus Liverpool, as predicted, actually, when they called the semi-final draw. At least Liverpool beat Real Madrid as well, which makes me feel better. Are we about to have an all-English final? Armando Izzo out of nowhere starting a coaching course. He's only 31. You know what? Winning a local derby, I don't know how well coded it is into the game, but winning a local derby just before a potential title-winning run-in could not have come at a better time. So it is Manchester United versus Arsenal. It wasn't actually their catch-up game, but it's Manchester United versus Arsenal now. Liverpool at West Brom. Chelsea play Wolves. We've got to keep an eye on all of them, pretty much. 4 games to go. It's starting to eliminate a few people from the title race, at the very least. I feel like Fulham might be a bit of a linchpin in this run-in. Because they're playing someone now, they play us next, and I'm pretty certain they play another one before the end of the season. Arsenal beat Manchester United, which knocks them out of the title race, that's for certain. West Brom hold Liverpool, and I think that's just made that, realistically, a 2-horse race for the title now. No matter what happens with us, we're both 6 points clear with what will be 3 games to go. Although Arsenal play Liverpool, I think. Well, that's interesting. It's starting to explain that a little bit more now. Barring our goal difference advantage being overturned, we can secure Euro Cup football with at least a win. That's new. It never used to talk about goal difference in sort of securing things. I like that. Marcus Edwards took a knock. Didn't see that one. I saw other knocks. Jota, obviously, comes in there. Gallardo, not fully back. That's irritating. I'm honestly running out of players at this point. Thankfully, they're not out for long, so that's good news. So, Xhaka, Meza, Badiashile, Fofana, Walker, Brozovic and Gomez again. Neymar, Maddison will start this one. His sharpness is increasing to a point where I'm happy to start him. His technicals are all better than Palacios', even if his overall star rating no longer is. Jota on the right, Calvert-Lewin up front remains for now. That's the thing. Do I play Calvert-Lewin? Because he's well out of form. Esposito is well in form. Now, goal factoring, he's had 11 starts, but he scored 6 goals in those. I'm just going to reduce his duties, essentially, make him attacking forward for this one. So they line up 4-3-2-1. Oliver Skip in the first team these days. Perrone, don't know who that is. If I'm completely honest, I presume that's Thierry Correa at right back. Goalkeeper's new. Nathan Ake's in central defence. For them, that's a good acquisition, really, for them, I think. I mean, I know we scored a couple of nonsense goals in the last one, but that would have been silly to concede. Henry Brendy on the right. Son on the left. I'm pretty certain Harry Kane left Tottenham. I can't remember where he went. I know he's gone to PSG on my stream save, but I don't know where he went here. It might have been PSG as well. Fofana, though. I'm seeing a lot more corner goals since January in particular. I don't know if there's something changed in the database, because I know they changed something recently. I know there's been a couple of recent updates obviously trying to fix that youth issue there was. But that was in December. And I've definitely played more than since January, since December. So I'm not fully certain what's changed as such, but I feel like I'm getting more from corners, and I've not changed the corners for a while. I've been at near post all season. So there's no reason why you would have improved that post-January, pre-January. Martial's clean through here though, and Xhaka saves. But if you were to scan sort of my schedule since January, you'll see Badiashile and Fofana in those goals quite often. Thierry on this right-hand side. Confirmation is Thierry Correa, I suppose. Skip, Perrone. This has been worked. This is a really long highlight. And Dumbali's through. Butchered his name initially there, but he scored. It's really easy as well. How many players have they got forward? Blimey. Yeah, far too easy, really. Don't know what Xhaka's done there. That is the questionable positioning on Xhaka. Just encouraged at the end of this first half, and Fofana nearly gets a second in exactly the same way, but highlight not over. Safanov, I have no idea who Safanov is. Obviously, it's their presumed long-term replacement for Lloris. Great block by Walker, which might be the highlight. Xhaka saves the eventual shot. Neymar on a 6.4. Not his best. Calvert-Lewin will come to get that. Not on complete forward in this match, but he decided to be a bit more complete there. As again, it's another block highlight. As much as I like to see great defensive work being highlighted more recently in these FM games, it's always a little bit anticlimactic when it's a block highlight. As Maxi Gomez comes on for Oliver Skip, they had that one hiding in their locker. Good God. Right, okay, so 4-2-4 it is for them now. They're going all out on this. Maddison's really tired. I don't know why. He's inspired, but he's really tired, so he's coming off. I'm going to have to contemplate. Gagliardini might get a rare game here just because he is box-to-boxy. And Brozovic has had a shocker of a match for once as well. Buendia, our Gomez clears that one. Neymar heads on. Calvert-Lewin gets to the end of that one. Wasn't expecting. Go out right here, Maddison. Right. Maddison, right. Where are you going? Neymar's got the ball, thankfully, now. He hasn't ruined everything. Back into the box. Calvert-Lewin's still got the ball somehow. Sorry, where was the highlight? Now we demand more. And honestly, I mean, Neymar's on a 6.4. Jota's on a 6.5. Calvert-Lewin's on a 6.6. Now, Neymar's really, really tired. But I don't think that matters. Honestly, Esposito on. We can't afford this slip-up. It's one of those situations where it's Neymar late. He might not be playing well. He might be really tired. But it's having a player of that quality on the pitch who could just come up with something at some point. No matter what minute of the game it is, he could just come up with something. Whereas fresh legs in the striking role is always a little bit more terrifying. Walker. Neymar's there. Neymar scores. Just as I was talking over that highlight exactly about this situation, you could never rule Neymar out of doing something in a match. And immediate vindication for not taking him off. 2-1, late on. Oh, we love a late goal. I mean, I hate a late goal, but we love a late goal. The number of times we've scored past the 85th minute in games is ridiculous. They've not always been relevant goals. Neymar. And still Neymar. He's nearly got a second. And that finally puts him on a 7. In the 95th minute of the game, his rating has gone to a 7. despite being on a 6.2 as of the 85th minute or whatever it was. Now again, because that highlight was so close to the end of the game, we're seeing the final moments. It is just the final moments. There was nothing more there. Neymar ended on a 7.4. He was definitely on a 6.2 on the 85th minute. That's why you don't take him off. Good win, move on. I wanted to say well done for turning it around, but there wasn't an option for that. What a bizarre time for that to go through, and why have I been told about it? It must be on my shortlist for whatever reason. Fulham have signed Rob Holding for 21 million at the end of April. And that's what I was waiting for, just seeing how Man City do. Now, they've drawn, so rule them out as well. I mean, even if they won, they'd be on 67 with the way things have panned out. But gotta keep an eye on things. Sort of mostly keeping an eye on things because of the Man United situation, because I would like them not to get Champions League football purely so we could get a better chance of getting Maguire. But we'll do all 3 games next time around because it's still a straight shootout. Arsenal win their game in hand they have over us. It's even points. They've got a better goal difference. But their running is what hopefully saves us. If it comes down to us versus Arsenal on the final day, it's going to come down to that, isn't it? It's definitely going to come down to that. I'll see you for that on Thursday or whenever if you're watching on the playlist. Until then, ta-ra.